Hello and welcome to Main Media TV. I'm your host, Kai Whitaker. Today we're going to be talking about Black History Month and celebrating Black History Month. We'll be having a conversation about the influence that Black culture has had on the mainstream culture. And here with us are a few of TMUC students of different organizations. If y'all like to introduce yourselves.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Victor Howe, president of NAACP Unit 6809, member of the Zeta Tau chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and I'm a senior.
My name is Deshani Cox. I am a sophomore, and I'm a member of NAACP Unit 6809.
My name is Marquise Young. I'm a senior here at TMUC. I'm also a member of Theta Theta chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Well, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. So, the influence of Black culture on the mainstream culture. How has African American culture influenced today's fashion culture?
Well, personally, I believe that our style and the way we dress is definitely mainstream. Whatever we do, it pushes the mainstream, whatever the trends, I should say. We're trendsetters. That's basically what we are. At the end of the day, that's the simplest way to put it. And I just love how no matter what era it's from, it can be from the 60s, 70s, it's going to make its way around again. Just like right now, you have all that Bruno Mars and Cardi B Finesse, the cross colors. Cross colors hasn't been popular in
That's old.
over 15 years, if that. And it's coming back full force. They're sponsoring one of his tours, and that's going to get major exposure. And pretty soon, we're probably going to see people wearing cross colors again.
Okay, well, how do y'all?
I like to feed off what Marquis said. But as far as fashion, I feel like Black people as a whole are trendsetters. You know, just such as, you know, a couple years ago, I don't remember nobody wearing dashikis. Now you have a lot of Africans as well as African Americans just expressing themselves by wearing dashikis, you know. And I just feel like that's just an example, just one example of how I feel like Blacks just set trends as far as fashion and culture, you know, such how majority of rappers are Black, you know, how they just
Like I say, any brand, and we all start wearing it.
Yeah, any brand such as Gucci, Louis Vuitton, anything, you know, everybody wants to be seen in that high fashion.
I feel like our hair is very diverse, and a lot of other cultures like to copy it, such as the box braids and, you know, goddess braids and things like that. So, you know, us wearing afros, and then you see it, you know, in fashion, you know, on TV, you know, the different stars and whatnot wearing afros and having braids. And, you know, you got Kim Kardashian, she's wearing braids, all these different, you know, people. And so I feel like we really do set fashion in you know, into place where the starters and people like to follow. It's like a domino effect. So everyone follows after us because, like I said, I mean, I guess you could say we are
the trendsetters.
We are the trendsetters.
We make our trends from nothing, and then all of a sudden it's popular. Okay, well, now we can discuss social media and how that's been a powerful platform in Black culture. How do y'all think that's been a big platform for us?
Well, a big platform such as social media, you know, I feel like, really, I just feel like everybody wants to get their attention as far as social media. You know, they want to have their voice spoken. They want to be seen. You know, they just feel like that's just one of the ways to express themselves. You know, and I feel like as far as related to the African American community, you know, we see such as athletes. You know, Drake. You know, Drake just dropped a video, guys playing video, and now they're doing a guys playing challenge. You know, Drake is really a trendsetter. You know, and it's just some things just like that. You know, but that's how I feel about social media as far as Blacks.
How do y'all feel?
I somewhat feel like with social media, it kind of gave us, I don't want to say a leg up, but I kind of almost an equal playing field, because it allowed us to express our talents in a way we haven't been able to. Anybody can do it. It doesn't have to be, you have to be in the industry. You can be a person, work 9 to 5 like anybody else, and be IG famous or Twitter famous or whatever. And you can make change with that if you really use your platform for a great cause.
Yeah, I feel the same way. For me, the different little singing challenges they have, and then, new talent is noticed off of, sites like, Twitter and Vine when it was out, and Instagram. You got all these different Vine stars that are now on, like shows like Wild 'N Out and playing in various different movies. So I feel like it really does allow us to shine and to show who we are, whether we're able to physically go and audition. We can audition over, videos, and just to basically show our talents. And you see so much raw talent through social media.
Like Cardi B, that's
Like,
how
yeah,
she got
Cardi
on,
B.
is
And
social media, yeah.
so social media is a very powerful platform because every voice is heard, whether you are famous or you're not. You can have 20 followers and then you post something that somebody really likes, and then it just goes, it goes everywhere. Everybody sees it and people relate to it. So it's a very powerful tool.
Do you also think that it's helped with our issues as far as like police brutality? We see a lot of videos, and of course the hashtag for Black Lives Matter. Do you think that also helps with
Yes, most definitely.
political movements?
I feel like it helps, but a small part of me also feel like it normalizes things
That's true.
sometimes. Because real quick to put a tweet out there, pray for such and such, whatever the issue is that day. And I feel like we're constantly seeing it. Versus probably like early years when it would pop up and be like, oh, something shocking, like, oh, somebody just got shot again. But that's what I think.
Social media and that platform, such as the different videos of people being killed, it really desensitizes the whole aspect of it, because when you constantly seeing it, people are constantly retweeting it, talking about it. You're seeing the videos over and over again, and it just gets to the point where you're like, okay, here's just another video. Like, okay, there it is again. Like, we can't do anything about it. We said all we can say. So it's like a catch-22. It's a positive and it's a negative. It's a negative playing field, because you have people that are, trying to be uplifting, and you got the people that just want to post it just so they can get the retweets and the likes and whatnot. So it's about the way that they use it, but it does let people see. People that don't have access to TVs and cable and stuff like that are able to see what's actually going on in the world, so that they can be prepared and safe, and to make sure that they're doing the right thing. So I think that it is a help, and it's also harmful.
Okay. Well, if you're just now joining us here on Main Media TV, I'm your host, Kai Whitaker. This week we are talking about Black history and Black culture in the mainstream culture. We were just talking about social media and how powerful a platform that is. So when it comes to the culture of our music, I mean, I feel like obviously our music has taken over the mainstream, but how do you all feel that it's taken over?
Are you
Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead, Marky.
I feel like we're finally starting to get somewhere between, I would say, like 2005 to about a good 2010. Black music kind of didn't get the much attention that it should have on mainstream, I should say. Because in the 90s, R&B records, hip-hop records, #1, going diamond, all that slowed down during that time period. And I feel like we're starting to pick it back up now that we have streaming, which I think is great, because it's allowing the Black landscape of what people think we are capable of doing to be shown on the spectrum. We have Black country artists, we got Black jazz artists, we got folk artists,
Everybody doing pop.
Exactly. Anybody can put out a rap song. So it's all about expressing and showing our range and versatility, which I think is great.
Music-wise, it's a lot of people go to music for help, and so when you have artists such as, like, I like J. Cole, and I like people like Kendrick Lamar, they're more I guess you could say soulful rappers. Like, they're the ones, that tell you, the truth, tell you how they really feel, versus just saying, what any and every other rapper is talking about. So to hear things like that, the mindset of people that are famous, like, even though they're human too, you don't really think of them as you would think of me and you. They're on a higher pedestal. So when I hear rappers like that, it's very, I could say uplifting. It really is, because mainstream rap is not very conscious. It's about materialistic things and, you know, what they can get this day, what they can have that day. So I feel like, you know, Nicki Minaj, she did set a tone for women in rapping. So it just, it plays a really positive impact in the black culture, because you have so many artists that speak on the struggles that happen in everyday life, the issues, and they're able to be heard louder than we are. So,
and they're heard to all different races.
everybody hears them. So when it's broadcast and streamed, and yeah, so it's
Yeah, I feel like music is inspirational, and it also gives people that sense of, well, I know, at least I know I'm not the only person that's going through those certain things, you know, such as, as far as like artists such as, it could be anything such as Drake, Lil Boosie, Lil Wayne, anything, you know, any little subject in your life, you know, I'm stressing out.
They all come from different places.
Yeah, you know, and like some rappers, they can relate to some people's issues, you know, such as if you feeling emotional, you're gonna listen to Drake. You know, if you feel like you're not getting your rights, you know, you're gonna listen to Boosie. Or you feel like something else going on, right? You're gonna listen to Boosie. You feel like the world is messed up, you know, in some situations, you're gonna listen to Boosie. You know, if you
Is Boosie your favorite rapper?
yeah, that's my favorite.
Okay. You saying Boosie?
Yeah, and it like just
We got Kendrick, you know, like she said, we got J. Cole.
yeah, you got them conscious rappers. Yeah, I actually like J. Cole though, but I'm not really a big Kendrick Lamar fan. You know, I can't really relate to Kendrick Lamar. You know,
That's a whole nother
yeah,
Right.
that's a whole nother level. You
I mean,
know?
related to him, I can understand that. I mean, I guess as far as just like in his music though, what he has to say and the types of things that he says.
He's a conscious commercial rapper.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is. He did say he
he's
was.
a good artist. I'm personally just not a fan of him, really, to be honest. But I mean, I feel like he's a good artist. Obviously, he's a good artist
Yeah.
if he make it high sales. You know. But I
Okay,
feel
well, as far as, well, going back to, I guess, maybe social media, you know, everything with the football players a couple of months ago when they kneeled for the flag, and under all those circumstances, how did y'all feel about that situation? Because, I mean, the football players, well, Colin Kaepernick started it. He just started doing it, and so it became this big thing for us.
I feel like Colin Kaepernick did it for a purpose, and his purpose was speaking out on the injustice of, you know, the constant, us constantly losing lives of unarmed African Americans. So when all the other football players started doing it, I didn't feel like they were doing it for his cause. They were doing it more so as a retaliation to Donald Trump and what he said about them and the NFL. So I kind of felt like, you know, they took what Colin Kaepernick was doing, because he you know, lost his job behind, you know, him speaking out on the racial injustice, and I guess you can say that the only reason why they kneeled was because everybody else was doing it. So it's kind of like, I'm going to follow the leader. It's, you know, well, if Donald Trump says something's wrong with it, we might as well do it, because now as many football players that were doing it, you know, they were, you know, going to lose their jobs because everybody was doing it. So it was kind of like, you know, you got to fire everybody if, you know, everybody's doing it and nobody wants to lose their job. They don't want to lose that much money, because football players equal money.
Okay, well, that's all the time that we do have today. But thank you for watching Main Media TV. I'm your host, Kai, here with our, you know, our student guests, Vic, Marquise, I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Deshani.
And Deshani. Okay, well, that's all the time we have today. And we're good. Okay, yeah, 14 minutes went by a little fast. Well, thank you all so much.